Hey, good evening. It's Monday night, and every Monday night we go over Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, Season 1, Episode 5. Half the season is over with. We're in Season 5. I'm with one of my illustrious co-hosts, Dwayne. Um,
Oh no,
and I'll just say, as Ronnie said, Keisha, where is she? But
miss.
hopefully Keisha will be joining us. If not, I know what she's doing, and she's in the middle of things with the family. So, Wayne,
What's going on?
we just gonna get right to it, man. What's going on with you, brother?
Hey man, I'm good. I'm gonna let you start it off.
Well, I saw it. I might have saw it. Did I see it before you?
Yeah, you definitely saw it before me.
And
No, no. I
yeah, I
saw
saw it, and then yeah. Once
I
I
saw it
hit
like
you,
3:30 in the morning because I couldn't
yeah.
sleep. So I,
I saw it around 8, and I must say, episode 5 for me, Dwayne. As long as we've been doing reviews for shows, it is the first show that I can honestly give it a 10. I know it seemed kind of crazy when I messaged you and said I'm giving it a 10. I'm giving it a 10. I absolutely loved this episode, and I know a lot of people think that I don't be really paying attention to the episode and looking at the details. I paid a lot of attention to this episode. I was well rested. I didn't stay up like you. Usually, I stay up like you till 3:30, 4 o'clock to watch it.
yeah,
But I actually went to sleep early, and I got up and I watched it. I liked everything about the episode. I thought the episode it finally really scratched the surface of what got Juke. We found out why her nickname, Lorraine's nickname, is Jukebox because of the music, and we're starting to see the anger issues not anger issues. I don't want to say that, but what really turned Kanan. And even he said when he was the scene when he was cooking the drugs up, he said he had a choice, which I think that it's good for a lot of people to understand that some people that leave and go to certain aspects of life, crime or whatever, they have choices. Some people feel like their backs are against the wall and they have to do what they got to do to survive. So I thought that was real interesting. The hot thing that everybody was talking about, basically, Rock, lying to Carter. Basically, he's Carter's kid. He hasn't proved it yet, but basically the dates didn't add up, and
right.
he looked at genuinely because Omar Epps is such a good actor. I think that never really gets his credit. He generally looked at concern, like hurt, like you should have told me, like
Yeah,
you know,
you could
and
definitely
it
see that.
speaks about his background. So I guess they may show what happened between them, and were they dealing with each other, or was it just something that happened off the rebound when she was dealing with DEF CON or whatever? Which I always bug out off that name. Like who has a street name named DEF CON? But I really liked the episode. I liked the fight scene between Marvin and Lulu. I thought that was very authentic, and they didn't let the little brother win. We know as younger brothers, the little brothers never win, Dwayne. So
I
you
wanted
never
one.
beat, huh?
I wanted at least one. I ain't saying I took all L's. No.
so so I thought that scene was real interesting, and it shows gave they also gave us some background on Marvin. Like Marvin is quite like always the can't get right brother,
Can't get right.
and he's the oldest, and it's like his sister talks dirty to him. And now we seen Lulu really like, like, come on, you just don't listen.
Yeah.
And Lulu has no problem with far as the chain of command and doing stuff for the family. So I think them explaining that dynamic was different. And I think we got a little bit even with the babies with the Canaan situation with Rock. I think we realized how she is as far as business. We're getting the guy to go to Unique and saying that they're gonna work together and all this, and realizing that she don't even have to ask. People just volunteer information, and
Oh yeah.
that's very authentic
I
because
think
people
when they
will
got
volunteer
my man,
information.
I think it was an interesting scene when they got my man kicked out of his apartment. He was he was popping a little bit, and then Marvin had to tune him up.
But it's
But
funny. Did you laugh the way he turned around and see if he got the okay from Rock
yeah,
first, and then
yeah,
then he tuned him up.
they both want her approval, man. Like they both do, and it's interesting, like you said, because it's the older brother. You know, on first look, I didn't feel the episode. You know that. You know, when I first talked to you, my initial was a 3.5 for this episode. And when I watched it the second time, I felt it a little bit more. Like I didn't watch it from a critical eye, you know. Um, Interesting that Famous is into Juke like that. You know, I found that to be
You know, I was loving that scene. Like who,
interesting.
who? I
Yeah,
think that whole little thing with you know, not to cut you off, just make I want to make a point because you brought up Famous. I love that relationship when they're all together because that to me is very authentic. Like you got a best friend who likes your cousin and y'all growing up together. And Famous is very he's playing the hell out the role.
yeah,
I think he does a really good job and he doesn't his character isn't overbearing to the point where you'd be like, I'm sick of this guy, yo. Because he just does just enough.
right, right. Um, I think Juke got in Kanan's head a little bit by saying it was old girl. And Kanan, in the back of his mind, I think he feels that too. But because he's feeling her, he got mad at his cousin for saying something. Um, I think the one scene that I shared with you, I thought was a couple of episodes too late, was the scene with Jukebox and her girlfriend and the mother coming in on them, like kissing. I think that
Hmm.
would have happened a little bit earlier with her going to that house. It just seemed odd to me that this was the episode they decided to do that. But it could be another example of, and I'm reaching on this probably, but it could be another example of Juke. Like everything she loved gets messed up, kind of sort of her relationship with her father. And then, they did a scene where she's walking in the street and she just see people in love. Like, you know what I mean? And she just looking around and seeing it. And she can't really have that with the person that she loves.
I
Um,
mean, Nicole, I don't know why they're not locking the door. I think locking the door was probably the least thing from her mind. But I do find something that because you brought the scene up, Dwayne. If she knows, and it speaks to why Nicole asking the question, the girl obviously knows that her parents don't approve of this type of relationship because she said they're when Juke said to her before, "Oh, your parents seem cool. Yeah, they're cool with some
for
things."
something.
So to see the reaction that her mother got and them not locking the door, the reaction the mother got was kind of crazy because it was like she was looking at Juke as like a monster or something. Like she was like
Listen,
physically harming her.
listen,
So,
she finally had somebody that she could blame for her daughter being who she is.
mm,
The mother knows the mother know what her daughter is into. But she finally had somebody that she could blame and say, "Oh, you're the reason why my daughter is."
okay.
That's just the way I look at it. The father's just, I don't know, like he tried to say a cool line the first time Juke was there, and then this time he's like, "What's going on?
Yeah.
Why is no one telling me what's going
Yeah.
on?" And
What
it's
do you
like,
mean
come on,
kissing?
yeah, what do you? Come on, Captain Obvious. What do you?
It's
Come
like he
on,
could.
man.
It's like he couldn't catch on to nothing.
Yeah, you know. So it's interesting. Um, I don't, Kanan is so hard and he's becoming so hard or whatever.
Shout out to the kid that plays Kanan because
Does a good job.
he 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 mimics 50's mannerisms, the way 50 looks, his facial expressions. I
Mhm.
mean, I think that's a good job with him because he actually does do a lot of the like I said, the facial expressions before he even say anything.
Right, right. But God, I lost my train of thought.
Do you think I'm gonna ask you a question? Do you think in the show, like Kanan shows a lot of mixed messages?
Well,
Because it
that's what I
seemed
was
like
about to say. Like he tried to be so hard, yet not really realizing that his mother is vulnerable. Like, oh, you promised me won't nothing happen to you. But she can't promise that. Like, and he
Yeah.
know it. He know what the game is. His mother can't promise him that. You know?
Yeah,
I feel
I find it to be interesting because it's like he's first he looking at old boy like, why you around my mother? And then when he was leaving the class, he was like, you really like my mom's, right? You know what I mean? I guess it's an overprotective type of thing,
yeah.
but
There was a couple of cheesy lines up in this episode too. Like the Omar Epps character saying, um,
Cody, do you think that he plays a little dumb? Um, I don't think that he's soft. I think that he don't understand the magnitude of what he's into. I think he's trying to be a man. You know, guys like that when they're definitely adolescents, they try to be something that they're not. So I think he's like in the show, his mother is trying to tell him like, yo, you stepping into a world that you really don't understand the ramifications of your actions.
right. Like when he went to fight Scrap. Like, yeah. I know you said that you could see that line, you could see that scene being realistic. For me, I just didn't think Scrap would fight Rock's son.
Scrap
Because
would have avoided him, but he swung at him. He swung at him. Scrap would have did. I believe that an older guy that definitely worked for the team would have been like, "I'm not gonna fight you." But then when he swung on him, he'd have defended himself and basically I don't think he would have tried to harm him to fight him. I think he would have protected himself and been like, I'm gonna just slap you up a little bit and play with you.
right,
But I thought that was interesting. Like the whole scene in the hospital with I mean not the hospital, the police station when when he came and got him out, Scrap was looking like. So I didn't know where they was going with that, but we know that after that, when Rock seen Scrap walking down the street, what Rock told him to do, and then they showed the scene where Scrap was over there with Unique. So I think that I don't think Unique would really fall for it, but I guess that was the whole thing of having his boy watching them fight.
yeah, I guess. Maybe his boy told him, there's a little trouble there. It's crazy, you know. But they be having their cheesy lines in this episode too, like where the cop is like, if you can't get to the queen, you get to the prince.
Yeah,
It's corny. That was corny, folks. The corny ass line, corny ass.
and I know you was hey Cody, you do a good job too. I seen something that you had did in reference to power. You put it on the page. I noticed it the other day. Just tag me with it. I'm the admin of that page, so just tag me with it next time so I see it as soon as you put it up there. You're right, Cody. People that's from the street know that Neek would have seen that a mile away. Like Scrap is her guy. He was on the stash. You know what I mean? Like if he's trusted to be on the stash, he ain't gonna cross her for nothing.
Right.
So he would have known. He would have known something ain't right. Like nah. So I find that interesting. What like Unique? I know Dwayne, that's your favorite character in the
My
show.
man.
It's kind of like I want Unique to be around. I want Unique to be around for when Kanan get bigger. I
You
want
need them to be around.
yeah,
You
yeah,
need them to be around, man. We need more of them. And so that's what it is, man. So it's good, man.
yeah.
Like
He was watching the stash and babysitting.
he was.
He let that be known, and that's what flipped Kanan gut. He flipped him.
Yeah,
He ain't like that. Like you babysitting.
baby.
I make spaghetti on with Tuesday nights, Monday
Yeah,
night, and we go to the diner on Tuesdays.
yeah. But it was interesting. Symphony coming to get Kanan out. And I had a discussion with another person that said they didn't think that was realistic. That with him being a minor, he would have been released to his parents. Not necessarily. I can speak. Hey man, I don't mind. We do full disclosure here. I can speak from personal experience with that. I was released from a situation without my parents coming to pick me up, and I was 16. So it can happen, depending on how serious the cops think the situation is.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean?
And
So
basically, they release you to an adult. I mean, they
release you
don't
to
really
an
worry about
adult.
that.
So yeah, but see, I know what got you to get this episode of 10. Like, it was the opening song. Once you
Oh
heard the
yeah.
opening song, you was
When I
done, man.
when I
You
heard
said it
brand
was
new
a
slow
10.
down, I ain't gonna lie. When I heard slow down from the door, it got me, y'all.
Yeah, you was like, it's a
You know
10.
what I mean? Willie Will got a pair of
Yeah,
my
I don't
sneakers.
care what happens the rest of the way. It's a 10. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
No,
think,
really, no, really, Dwayne. I want to ask you a question. I'm going to ask people in the chat and then ask you a question. Everybody in the chat, I know one of the things that Keisha and Dwayne was a little pissed off at was raising Kanan because it speaks of an era that most of us were in our youth. You're going to get a lot of similarities to movies. And I noticed in this movie, you guys said it was like the scene from Juice.
well, that was me more than
Yeah,
Keith.
yeah.
You know, this seemed like the Juice episode to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I know a lot of people say, you know, they think it's get rich or die trying. You know, that sort of thing. Um, but to me, I was just waiting. I don't know, maybe because it's on my apps. I'm waiting to hear Rakim. You know, waiting to hear that Juice.
Don't sweat
Rakim,
the technique.
yeah, coming in. You know, I'm waiting to hear.
I'm gonna ask you a question, Dwayne, because of that, and I know me and you are people that try to always figure out who directed the episode, and F. Rivera directed the episode. He comes from the hip hop era,
Yeah.
so maybe you trying to, like I said, you're trying to capture that 90 to 95 moment, the music, the beef and broccolis, the North Face moment, the starter moment, the Fitteds really. That's when Fitteds really jumped on the scene, and
Yeah.
I even was bugging out a scene, and we pay attention to details, right?
Hmm?
Did you know what's old boy's name? That the boy, the Rock's boyfriend, Epiphany. That's
Simple.
his name. Symphony.
Simple.
Yeah, Symphony. Right. I even caught when Kanan went to the class that he had on Levi's. This was before Levi's became Donuts and then came back out.
Yeah.
But I looked, I'm like, oh, he had the Levi's. He had on the
Well, listen,
505s.
you know, Lulu had to show his girl that this Camacho is a clown. He had to
Yeah,
show him, you
yeah.
know, and he had to show him that he don't know what he's doing. He can't even pay his people. You know what I mean? So he paid off the people, and he paid off the people, and that and now she sees.
He was bossing up.
Yeah,
He gave him a stack of thousands like here. The
yeah.
dude was like, yo, what about the other
What
guys
about the
in the
people
front?
down the hall? Like, let me get my people paid, because Camacho ain't getting it done. You know, and then the power flex after he did all that, got Juke on the track. You know, Juke killed it. Then after that, he smashed his old girl right in the studio.
Yeah, that's one thing they're gonna
Just to
have.
basically say this is my studio. You know what I
That's
mean?
that's one thing they're gonna have in Power. They're gonna definitely have some sex scenes. You ain't got
Yeah,
to
they
never
are.
worry about that.
They are, but I'm just saying the whole way how he played that whole thing, man. You
How
know?
you think? How you think when Lulu and Marvin was fighting? Well, before they started fighting, they started arguing. Um, why you think he flipped so much when he said called him a fake Quincy Jones?
Because this is what he really wants to do. You know what I mean? This is his dream. Now he gonna hold his sister down in the game and all that, but he sees this a little bit as a way out. You know?
Yeah, he should have bossed up when Lulu seen him when Juke seen him in the diner.
Yeah.
One thing, Dwayne. Another thing why I told you I love the episode so much is because um, having a relationship with your uncle for a boy, for a young man at that time. I know a lot of people may not have had relationships with their uncles, but my father died at a young age when I was young age. So my relationship with my uncles was like it's like when he passed, I became their brother.
Yeah,
And it's unique when I look at Kanan, like, and she said it. Neither one of y'all told on each other. And Marvin was looking like, nephew ain't tell on me.
right.
Because I think that relationship and that closeness is like it's like having a second father, but they don't discipline you.
Yeah, just like
And it's
Lulu said, Kanan got hard.
yeah,
You know what I mean? He said it in that same scene.
yeah.
So,
I did see that affection with Lulu and with Lulu when he was like with Juke like she was singing for quarters, nickels or whatever. I seen it. I mean that's a side that I think that they're gonna probably try to show is like what happened to her mother. You know what I mean? Because Juke is like now we see.
well, her mother got turned out. You saw that.
Yeah.
They brought that up in the fight. You know what I
Why
mean?
in Nick? Why in New York Nick though, Dwayne?
I mean, I guess it is New York. The Nets was in Jersey. So they wasn't in Brooklyn. They was at Brendan Byrne Arena even before it was Continental. You know what I mean? But yeah, so her mother got turned out or whatever. Sad, the way we had to find out about it. But yeah, Kanan, I think he's moving a little too fast. Like he needs to slow down, but he want to be so much in the game, and it's crazy because he's a book smart kid.
Yeah.
We all know that now. He's a book smart kid.
Even with the scene even with the scene from last week when old boy had the gun on him. I mean, he didn't look scared, but he didn't look like he was showing all the heart that he claimed he got. I just think the whole Kanan thing is weird to me because it's like you got to show him because as the character 50 portrays says, you know how it ended. You know how it ended. So now you got to see what led him to change this much and develop this anger and hostility and why. But I definitely see even going back to power why he saw so much of himself in Tariq. You see it now. You see it.
Yeah, but you killed that track.
Yeah, that was strange. Why would he shoot Buddy on the block without doing his homework, but roll up on Scrap with no gun after a robbery? You know what? I thought about that, and you would have thought with the scene that he would have had the gun on him when he went and seen Scrap, and I think he might have couldn't get. I don't know what that was all about. Like if you thought Scrap would have been doing that, like dude,
Yo, listen, is Rock a killer?
I
Is
mean I don't
she
know.
a killer, or do she got people that do it for her? Now, the reason I think she a killer a little bit is because she rolled up on Scrap by herself, and that Joker was shook like he saw a ghost, and he knew his life was about to end.
He was like, I had to do it, Rock. I had to do it. I had to do it, Rock. But you know the thing about Rock, I think she does a lot of stuff. Like she take care of her people financially, and I guess that she probably do get like Marvin. Marvin probably is a beast. He probably do put work in. And we already know Lulu. He giving people what Reggie Jackson. So I guess that's why Scrap act that way. But I don't know why Kanan, like you said, when Juke told him it was old girl, why he just didn't even like this Juke telling you.
Yeah,
And then he like caught feelings and was like, I know your secrets too.
yeah, like come on, come on.
But what do you think about that, Dwayne? You think Marvin was scared of Rock?
They all scared of
I think Marvin was scared of Rock because of DEF CON. I think DEF CON must have left like he must have been like they said, he was the kingpin of all kingpins. So how you guys in the chat feel about Carter finding out that Kanan might be his son? Do you think Rock was wrong for that? I mean, you see how he looked, Dwayne. He had that old computer Commodore 64 up there,
it. He did.
scrolling down. He
Yeah,
said,
that green
"What
screen.
what what year was you born?" And he looked. He said,
75.
"These times ain't adding up, I thought that whole scene was interesting. I I didn't see that coming. I know Keisha says she's seen it. I didn't see that coming at all.
I didn't see it coming. I also didn't think Rock was gonna show him how to cook, but I guess she figuring like he moving fast, so she better start showing him stuff.
Yeah, I was surprised with that whole scene. I mean,
But then
I
it was
was
like,
su-
"Oh, you promised me nothing was ever going to happen to you." Come on, Kanan. You
yeah.
know how the game work, man. Your mother could be taken out at any minute. What is you talking about? So it's like they trying to show his hardness, but they trying to show his vulnerability at the
Yeah,
same time.
she was wrong, but he needs to take his ass on. The only reason he gonna want to be a part of his
He
life
needs
is he
that
needs a
donor.
donor. I
Absolutely.
mean, I don't know if it's just about the donor thing because I think when the doctor asked him about family, he's like, I ain't got nobody. I don't know. I think this if they get into Carter's character a little bit more, we'll see probably like why he's not married or like what does he do. I don't know if I because he seemed and Omar Epps is such a good actor. I think he seemed genuinely concerned. Like, Rock, why you ain't tell me?
I will
Like,
I will say this, man. The young man playing young Kanan is doing a very good job. He's a very good actor, man. His facial expressions, how he going from still being, you know, soft, as Cody wanted to say. There's times where he's still showing that softness, but then you see where he trying to be hard. So, you see where he get his attitude from. But my man, I know who my man is. Unique this week. Unique this week. I don't know if y'all caught it. He had the three finger ring on this week. You see when he sat there with Scrap came to see him, had his shit, he was smoking on his little
so Shonda, you
stand.
think Rock could kill Carter? I don't think Rock could kill a cop. I think most people back in them days, you knew you killed the cop. Only person that killed the cop back in those days was Larry Davis, and he was working for the police. He was working for the police. I don't think Rock is gonna kill him. I think something's gonna happen where Kanan finds out and he gets even more angry. Because I could see him eventually disliking his mother for certain things.
Yeah, I still don't think Unique totally buying it,
Yeah, unique
man.
is unique just appears to be like the smoothest one. I know that's your guy, Dwayne.
Yeah,
I know you're a big unique fan.
I don't think he buying Scrap's story. I don't think he may be, but I don't think.
So what's every week when we do the show, and I know some people in the chat that's watching, we do a show. We rate our shows from 1 to 10. I gave this week. This episode 5 of Power Book 3 Raising Canaan has gotten my first 10 out of any show we've ever done. It got a 10 out of me. Dwayne, what was yours?
Well, do you want my initial or
I
what
want I want
I
I want your initial and then I want your final.
All right, just a little behind the scenes, folks. Initially, I gave this episode a 3.5. Wasn't feeling it. I'm thinking maybe it's because I watched it 3:30 in the morning, couldn't sleep. Um, but when I rewatched it, man, I put it up to about a 7.5. Um, I think it's hot that they're gonna be in an area now where they're overseeing the whole city. You know, I think that's cool how Rock did that.
Well,
But
Shonda gave it a 9.
okay, see, y'all could prove me wrong. Like y'all could be better than me. I go with that. But I said a 7.5. I couldn't go
7.5.
too high. I couldn't go too high after initial thoughts, giving it a 3.5. Um, you know,
Nicole gave it an 8, definitely not a 10.
you know.
Cody Cody hit me with the oh no. I know because I don't usually listen. I literally have never given nothing a 10, but I actually felt that this episode got a little bit more in depth about all their characters. Last week's episode bothered me because it was a little too mushy. So this week they came back, really scratching the surface on background and characters. So I liked the episode. That's why I gave it a 10. I thought it was the best episode, which usually with some of the shows that we review, the best episode don't come to like 7 or 8. And this is halfway point. We got 5 more weeks of this. So it's going to be interesting going forward if they can keep the momentum from this episode going.
And they closed it out with one of my favorite songs, man. You can get with this, or you can get with that. You know what I mean? So, you know, but it is what it is. Like I said, the young Kanan actor though, he's so expressive. With like when she was showing him how to cut it up with the razor. He was looking up at her for approval and stuff like that, and then he wanted to get it just right. But she looked at her son and was like, "Yo, this Joker really into this. I really can't keep him from it." So, you know,
Yeah, I thought that was
I
interesting.
think Scrap gonna die next week though, y'all. I think Unique gonna wind up killing him, man.
That's your prediction.
Yeah,
Somebody's got to die next week, huh?
Unique smarter than this, man. He's smarter than this. To me, he ain't gonna let one of her main people come in and infiltrate his system. I just don't feel it.
Yeah, yeah. So what is you got any final thoughts?
I'm glad everybody enjoyed this episode more than I did. That's very important. My boy gave it a 10. You may not see another 10 in ever from this guy. So I was very, very intrigued by that, which caused me to really want to go back and look at it again from a different lens. Um, yeah, I'm interested to see what happens with, the cop and Kanan, the mother, Marvin trying to redeem himself. Is Juke just gonna start wilding because the girl she loves, she ain't gonna be able to be around her? She gonna have to sneak to see her now. And let's see how this track. This track is only fire because Juke was on it. Famous rhymes is still a little weak to me, but you need Famous. Famous is that comic relief. He was mad. He was like, "What do you mean, Juke? Juke, you been with somebody? I was
Yeah,
supposed to be the first one to get that." He wanted to know who it was. He was upset
Chris
about it.
Priest said Rock said she was 15 years old when she had Kanan, so that meant both Howard and DefCon were sexing an underage Rock. Howard is easily 12 years older than Rock, right? In real life, Omar is 48 and Petite is 36. Damn, Chris. Hey,
I
Chris.
wasn't going
Hey,
there, but
Chris. I ain't gonna lie to you. You definitely doing your homework for the show.
there,
Damn. Appreciate your support. Make sure you share, and subscribe, man. Chris, I don't know exactly who you are, but make sure you share, and subscribe. And we do this every Monday. We do a review. We do a review on a couple shows, and I didn't look at it like that. I mean, I know that. I, woo, you said ages, man. You know, that's interesting. But Cody, you gave a 7 at best.
but
7 at best. Kanan character 2 all over the place. I agree with that. Kanan is he's everywhere. He got a lot going on.
well, you
Hey
got you
Nicole,
got
leave Famous alone. Famous supposed to have a big mouth. That's what you have when you have a friend when
and
y'all adolescents.
just a programming note for everybody. We will not be doing a review show next Monday because there will be no episode this Sunday. They're taking a week off, so we will not be back with you guys next Monday. But man, I really enjoyed the chat. It's blowing up tonight, so that's good to see. Um, yeah,
Yeah,
famous.
yeah, Cody. Yeah, Cody. Famous is my favorite character.
Yeah, that's your favorite
He
character.
just he just reminds me of our youth. I mean, the one friend that's just funny as hell.
Yeah, famous definitely funny man. We need more unique though. Need to see my man. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that Chris, that's interesting. What made astronomy loving rock turn to life for crime? I guess it was DEF CON. You got the guys
Was
back
it
then,
was it DefCon or was it the
but
one she
back
was dealing with after?
yeah, but back then you
Because
get to
but yeah, but you got to remember the one she was dealing with after Q was the one that really turned her on to the game.
yeah, but
He's the one that really
the,
turned her on to the game.
the,
It wasn't really
the
DefCon.
clink be the pretty girl from school, and she want to mess with the older guy that got the car, the jewelry.
No, no.
Definitely back in them
Saying
80s.
is, but what I'm saying is the dude. that got
Oh,
killed.
the first dude.
Yeah. Well, not her first dude.
Well, the second dude, the one that Kanan said he liked.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one that really got her in the game. Cause you
No,
remember.
Nicole, you can't be telling Famous just to shut up. Famous is the perfect supporting character for the show. He is the humor for Kanan. He's the one that's always gonna have the funny joke when Kanan putting in work. I don't know what's gonna happen to Famous. We all know what's gonna happen to Famous eventually. He get killed. Innocent guy gets killed.
Famous is sort of like the little white boy in Power Book 2. You
Yeah,
know?
Brandon.
Yeah, he like Brandon. You know what I mean? That's that comic relief. You gotta have it. Just like which one call it was comic relief and power. Oh God, what was his name? The one with the fro, he got shot in the eye. Tommy shot him in the eye. What was his name, Q?
Oh, Linnell played his mother.
Yeah, God.
Two Bits boy, the one that used to be with Two Bit all the time.
Yeah, got shot in the eye. So you need that like comic relief because he was a comic relief, you know. Yeah. So you kind of need that. But yeah, overall, like I said, I gave it a 7.5. You know, which was way up from the 3.5 I gave it initially, just because I thought some stuff in it was
yeah, with the glasses, Cody. That one, that's the one. It wasn't Scrap 2, was it? Was it? Nah, I forgot his name.
I'm with S though.
Spanky.
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 Yeah, Spanky. That was it, man. Tommy shot Spank in the eye, yo.
Hey, Chris P. This is a family oriented show, but I'm gonna put your comment up. Yeah. If a mother would have walked in, if a mother would have walked in there, that would have been interesting. See, you got my co-host bugging. You got Dwayne bugging. Hey, Chris. Dwayne wasn't expecting that. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button, Chris.
Yo, Chris P, man. Bringing that heat tonight, yo.
Chris P, you took us out with that one, yo.
Yeah, you got me damn near speechless. You know what, Chris P? I'll drink to that.
But let me ask you, Dwayne, Chris, but why Chris said that, like, that would have been an even more crazier scene, yo.
That's my point. That's why I was telling you that the outrage was ill placed.
But she was acting like Juke was a monster. Like, don't do that to my daughter. I let you in my house.
Father, what is going on? Why is no one telling me?
What happened? Kissing? What do you mean?
What happened?
But look, appreciate you guys tonight in the chat.
More unique, man. He's the most authentic dude.
Yeah, he is gonna give Scrap a big test to prove he's not a transform. But I don't know if Scrap gonna be able to pass that test. Oh, Nicole, you forgot that girl's name was Nicole. Nicole, relax.
Wait a second.
You're not the only Nicole. You're not the only Nicole.
Slow all the way down.
Slow down. Your name is not Patton, Nicole. Like, come on. Relax. Right. But anyway, Dwayne, final thought for me is like I said, I really appreciate the episode. I thought it was really good. Like I said, it got my first 10. But if they come back in 2 weeks and it's a dud, I'm gonna be the first one to blast it.
Well, if you look at the coming attractions, 2 weeks look like it's gonna jump off, man. Concert, people getting shot at a concert, you know.
Hey, Chris P, man, make sure you tune in every Monday except next Monday. We all know Scrap is the Trojan horse. Will he face the same fate as Unique day one? Last week, cover your ears, Scrap. Cover your ears.
They were snapping. They were snipping on those ears. But you know what Neek told him? I love you too.
Yeah. Took him back. So with that, everybody, we're gonna close the show.
Hey, thank you for the chat, man. Y'all made it good tonight.
And make sure you guys hit that like button. If you're on Facebook, make sure you hit the love emoji. YouTube, make sure you hit the like button.
Check us out in
And
2 weeks.
and if you're on Periscope, make sure you hit the love symbol. With that, everybody have a good week, and we'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
Yes.
Thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed today's show. Please continue to join us here for conversations on hot topics, interviews with special guests, and our featured programs such as the Poetry Corner, where you can hear dope poets from around the country creating that Poet Cafe vibe, and Crown Rules, our virtual book club on love, intimacy, and healthy relationships. Let's talk. We are everywhere you want to be. Follow us on YouTube at Let's Talk, Facebook at Let's Talk, and on Instagram at Let's Talk 1931. Have a suggestion? Give us a call at 570-795-4283. Or for business inquiries, please email us at ltalk5600@gmail. Let's talk. I water you, you water me, and we go together.